Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first ever Ultra Sud podcast. Brand new podcast launching here on Ultra FM on the Ultra Football channel. If you do enjoy it, make sure to like and subscribe. But first of all, my name is Kosta. Very excited to be bringing you this new podcast on the channel. Plenty of Premier League talk. Got to talk about Boots as well. We've got some new ones with us, which we'll talk about very soon. So make sure you stay tuned. The awesome thing about this podcast is that every single week we're going to be bringing in a new guest. So if you see someone one week that you might like, put it in the comments. You want to see them on more? We'll get them on more. If you see someone that's on and you don't like them, well then leave a comment down below. Now the very first guest, you should feel honoured, Kotzi.
Look, I honestly am, Kosta. It's great to be here. Hopefully I get the fans or you want me back. But yeah, no, it's great to be here. First one.
It's awesome. I did hear that there's a little rumour that you got a fresh fade just for the podcast. Is that
yeah,
true?
Look, going out this week, but look, we'll say we got it for the podcast instead. But no, look, it's good to be here, first one, and I'm sure there'll be many good episodes after me as well. So
thanks, man. That's awesome. Those kind words from you. Like I said, if you do enjoy, get involved in the comments. We want you to be involved with the podcast as well. Now, Kotzi, big Liverpool fan. You are. I'm a United fan. So the good thing is we're going to have very different opposing opinions each week on this new pod. So you're a Liverpool fan. We know what Liverpool fans are like. Here we go. 2 minutes in. I've already ignored the Liverpool fans, but it's fine. We know what Liverpool fans are like. We're going to talk about the transfers today. Okay, we're going to go through Chelsea's transfers, Liverpool's transfers, because I have some strong opinions on some of Liverpool's transfers. Man United as well, and someone like a Newcastle, because they're in an interesting position as well. So plenty of stuff to talk about. Let's kick off first, Kotzi. Let's kick off first with Chelsea. They've signed Raheem Sterling. They've signed Koulibaly. They were linked to Koundé for so long, and that's one that seemed like it was going to happen, definitely. Barcelona started poaching a lot of their players that Chelsea were looking for. How do you think someone like a Raheem Sterling is going to go at Chelsea?
Well, look, again, Sterling left a couple of years ago from Liverpool. A little bit
Still salty about it?
You could say, to be honest. He come back to Liverpool a couple of times. But look, I think now being him, close to 30, he's done the titles, probably now just wants to play every week. It's probably not going to happen at Manchester City. It's a good bargain for Chelsea. And again, if Raheem wants to play every week, I think he wants to go. It means he wants to go to the World Cup. And I think 100%. That's probably why he's gone.
I think that's a very, very good question and point you raised there. I think the World Cup was the thing that's probably biggest on Sterling's mind, because even though every sort of World Cup tournament he's there and he's actually been one of the better players for most of them, and the Euros as well, there's always a new flavour of the month that comes around, and it's always Sterling that seems to get pushed out to the side. Quite an underrated player, someone that doesn't get as recognised as maybe what he should. But being in that City squad, I think for him now, with the sort of transitioning a little bit, they're starting to shift some players out, bring the new flavour in. I think Sterling's move to Chelsea is a very good one, in my personal opinion. I think he brings a bit of that English talent as well to this Chelsea team. And I think it adds a new sort of creativity and a new sort of flair to that Chelsea attack, which I think they were kind of missing last season especially.
Well, that's the thing. Again, Sterling had a great Euros and everyone's like, oh, is it Grealish? Who are you going to play? And again, I'm not a City fan or a Chelsea fan now, but Sterling is a great player, let's be honest. You can't go past him. You'd be picking him in your team in schoolyard footy. But yeah, no, 100%. It's a good move for him. Again, weird now that the World Cup's in December. So look, there's a little bit of time to get the form. Again, he's not the worst player. He's a great player. So look, if he gets some game time plays, I'm sure Gareth will be picking him on the plane to Qatar.
That's it. Football's coming home to Australia. We'll talk about that after. That's a podcast for another day when the Socceroos bring home, what's the trophy called? I don't know, the gold trophy.
The World Cup trophy.
Yeah, just called the World Cup trophy.
Just the World Cup, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Don't think it's got a certain name. Hopefully, we haven't done our research. If it does,
we'll call it the Ultra Sud Trophy at this point. We'll call it the Ultra Sud Trophy. Now, we mentioned Koulibaly as well. He's a fan favourite on FIFA. Been at Napoli for a long time. Something that sort of came. He's always linked it to a club. He's always linked to United. But I mean, United's linked to everyone and the dogs. But I'm still hurt by United, but it's okay. But Koulibaly sort of came from nowhere. They were always linked to Koundé. Barcelona pinched that Koundé deal. Barcelona's in an absolute shambles themselves. Like, just let De Jong leave, please. Please, let De Jong leave.
Well, hopefully he doesn't. Can go to United. I don't know. Well, they're saying United, Chelsea, who knows? But yeah, the Koulibaly deal again. Like, he's been in Serie A for a couple of years, or for a long time now, and Napoli haven't won a lot. I don't think anything really. Maybe 1 or 2 trophies in his time, but probably one of the best centre backs in the world. But again, because playing in a different league and away from the English media. Of course, it's going to be, not seen as much. But yeah, Chelsea, again, solid at the back. And now it's Koulibaly, Thiago Silva. Did lose Rudiger to Real Madrid. So look, it is
I think that's something that's gone a little bit under the radar. How big of a loss Rudiger might be to that Chelsea team, because he was often their best player. You hear Chelsea fans saying that Rudiger, it was pretty much one of the main reasons why they won the Champions League. They were calling him. They were saying he's better than Virgil van Dijk. He's now gone to Real Madrid. Can Koulibaly cover that space?
Again, nothing against the Serie A. It's two different leagues.
100%.
But again, at the moment, Chelsea haven't had a great pre-season, but a little bit different when getting to the league. But hopefully he does well. Again, Rudiger is a big loss. Again, you'd be picking Koulibaly over Rudiger, in my opinion. But again, Koulibaly is still a great player. So hopefully in the next few weeks, we see how he goes, and just hopefully they can see goals, because we don't want Chelsea to do well.
We don't want Chelsea. They were a little bit disappointing for their standards, I think, even though they did finish third or whatever. But I don't think they were that great last year.
No, I think after the Champions League win, everyone thought they were going to do a Liverpool and go for the league.
Yeah.
But I just don't. It just fell away during December, during Christmas time, all the games, and then City and Liverpool just ran away with it. And of course, Man City unfortunately ran away with it on the final day. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting with them. Look, a couple of signings. Again, not a great preseason. I think Tuchel's under pressure already, so we'll see. And again, hopefully the first part of the season Chelsea curse of managers leaving doesn't happen.
Hopefully we'll see. Chelsea. There's a lot of talk on Chelsea there. Chelsea fans, let us know in the comments down below. Are you happy with your signings? Where do you guys think you'll finish as well? Now, we mentioned Manchester United a little bit. We'll continue to talk about Manchester United because, like I said, I'm a Man United fan myself. Paul Pogba leaves. I'm a Pogba fan, okay? I'm a Pogba fan. The Juventus shirt is out there with Pogba on the back. He's injured, though, 3 to 4 months. Did you see that? He's injured for 3 to 4 months. So United, I think we got out of jail for that, finally. Somehow we've ended up on the good side of the end. But Pogba leaves. You've got, Matic leaving, Mata leaving, Lingard leaving. Players like this that have walked out, which I think is good, because I've always been the biggest person in saying that you've got to get rid of your dead wood. But have we done enough to sort of replace these squad players? James Garner is someone that I'm going to tell you guys to watch out for. Whether he gets a lot of game time, I'm not sure. But Garner is someone that was instrumental in bringing Nottingham Forest up into the Premier League. He's now on Manchester United's books. Wasn't as involved in the pre-season as what I thought he would be. But I think he's someone that might take that spot on the bench. Paul Pogba leaving obviously leaves a massive void too. We signed Lisandro Martinez. We've got the peanut gallery in the back as well. We signed Christian Eriksen. Now, the Eriksen one is one that I quite like. Brings experience. He just oozes class, oozes talent. Christian Eriksen, taking the number 14. Thoughts on the Eriksen move to United for free?
Well, taking Eriksen anywhere. I think there was a few years ago when he was at Tottenham, he was linked, or maybe at Ajax actually, he was linked to Liverpool. And you're taking Eriksen every day of the week.
100%.
Unfortunately, you know what happened at the Euros 2021? It's good to see him back in the Premier League with Brentford last year. A couple of goals and assists and kept them up. And of course, was always going to go back to a big club. But to Man United, again, it just says, I think as much as it's worrying, and again, being a Liverpool fan, I think they could be back. And
Liverpool fans do not stop.
Well, that's the thing. We don't stop. But with new coach, look, I know his name, but what's his name again?
Erik Ten Hag.
Ten Hag. I think
10. He's not. Like that meme where they're a 10, but they're whatever. He's a 10 and he's Ten Hag. So
I don't know if he's a 10 yet. We'll give him a couple of weeks. But no, look, I think in pre-season you can see he's come in and he's made sure to get the players on the right track. Again, got rid of the dead wood. Look, Matic is old. Matt is old. The Paul Pogba, I think that was bound to happen either this season or the end of the season. Look, as much as I think Henderson's better than Pogba. But a great player. But yeah, look, I think just for the club, you could see it was a little bit of a...
I think you had to get rid of him. And again, he actually didn't play that much last year. I think injuries are something that's been sort of pushed under the carpet a little bit. He's becoming an injury-prone player.
Well, again, 2018 had a great World Cup. Again, had the Euros. France didn't make it all the way. So again, he didn't get to go to another final. But yeah, just I don't know. Every time he goes to France, it's like he's a new player. He's great,
100%.
but for some reason, when at Man United, it just didn't click. And I think you saw that not even after a long time, but yeah, it's good. Look,
It would have been interesting to see what he's like at Juventus, where, because again, Pogba if you're showing someone football for the first time and you want to show them some cool passing, you want to show them some cool tricks, Pogba is one of those players with a bit of flair that you think of. Unfortunately, he hasn't really showed that much of it, but it's a little bit disappointing. Now we'll move on to United's players that they have signed. Christian Eriksen. Okay, we've got Lissandro Martinez. There's Malacia, the left back as well, who I quite like. I went to both United games in the preseason. I know it's preseason here, whatever, but you can already tell the difference Ten Hag has made a little bit. Because when we were attacking Kosta, Malacia was playing left wing. He's a left back. We never seen it. Now, the interesting part is when we do play Liverpool, are we going to continue that? Something that became a United way the last couple of years is we just get scared straight away. We'll change our style and we sit back, wait for the pressure to come onto us, see if we can get a lucky goal. That's why we were called Moments FC. What I'd love to see now, and at the start, yeah, we might cop it 3-4-0 to Liverpool if we do play like that. Stick to your system. I think Ten Hag is probably the best brain-wise manager that we've had in a long time from what we can see already. He's got to come in with a lot of pressure because it's obviously a huge club. But I think the signing of Erickson, I think it's good, brings depth. I don't think he's got to start. I think Erickson probably knows that. I think Lissandro Martinez is an interesting one because 55 mil Kotzi. He's a centre-back. He can also play as the 6. He did take the number 6, if you want to read into that a little bit more than what you would want to. But he's quite short. In the Premier League, if someone like him is playing as that holding midfielder as the 6, could get steamrolled over. You compare it to the Liverpool midfield with Fabinho, Henderson. These are big boys. Big boys. But if they come against that midfield of United, Martinez could get smacked. Does he start over a Varane or a Maguire for 55 mil? You'd think so. But I think he might just start on the bench.
Well, look, again, Martinez come from a different league, from Holland, which again,
obviously
Ajax is
passed with
Ten Hag as well. And look, it's going to be interesting. Again, Varane, world-class centre-back. Maguire, yes, we all know the story with that. But again, you've seen him in pre-season. I unfortunately didn't get a chance to watch, but I've heard from all United fans here and around Melbourne and on social media. Look, you can see the system is starting to come around. It's getting better, like as much as it's only pre-season. Again, of course, Australia, Singapore, and against Liverpool, yes, 1-4-0, but it's not the real thing yet. We'll get to on the Ronaldo thing, but I think the other players getting used to this system, it may see that, Rashford, Sancho and all that.
100%.
Martial, those front three are going to be lethal this season, again, which is not great, to be honest, being a Liverpool fan.
We'll remember that for future podcasts. Once you said Sancho, Martial and Rashford are going to be lethal this season. But it's on now.
Clip it up, make someone will make a clip, or you can make a clip. But then the left back?
Yeah, Malacia.
Again, where's he from?
He's from Feyenoord. So again, he's gone to the Dutch leagues, which I also don't mind. He's gone to what he knows best.
Well, that's the thing. If you're bringing in players, from your old team, Ajax, or from the league, Holland and Dutch people, they create great footballers. And again, look, Premier League again is a different kettle of fish. So hopefully he starts, because then you got Luke Shaw. So then there's a little bit of competition.
Again, now there is a lot of players now in those sort of positions. You've got a Luke Shaw, you've got Tellers, so you've got 3 left backs there. There's a Brandon Williams as well. You think Williams gets shifted out. I think Tellers, unfortunately, might be the one that tries to get sold, but there's nothing really going around saying that Tellers, or there's interest for Tellers. Then you've also got Wan-Bissaka as well on that right back. Dalot seems to be Ten Hag's much preferred fullback on that right side. Then you've also got Lindelof, Eric Bailly too, the centre-back. And Bailly was fantastic in pre-season.
Yeah.
It was unreal. I've always loved Bailly. Got a little bit of brain fart about him sometimes, but I think he's all right. I think he's quite decent. I think Lindelof is okay too. I don't think he's as bad as what people might have it as. I think the partnership is the biggest problem. Now you've got Varane, Lindelof, Bailly, Maguire, Martinez. That's 5 defenders. I think what the most scary thing might be with that is he might start testing partnerships. And as soon as you do that, who sits out? Because if Martinez and Varane is a better partnership than Martinez and Maguire, well then go with it, run with it.
Well, that's the thing. Like again, different the last couple of seasons, Liverpool to Man United, but you can see with Klopp, the centre-back situation, you've only got really three, Van Dijk,
exactly.
Gomez, and
Konate.
Matip. But with United now that you said you got five, you wouldn't really want to be changing in the league, right?
100%,
Because then, if you start conceding goals, then you've got to change someone every week because you know what's going to happen. The pundits, the coaches, everyone's like, they're changing this, another change. And then halfway through the season, they'll be like, they've had 30 partnerships or whatever,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So look,
Jamie Carragher will say something I think is important again.
Another legend of the game. Unfortunately, no EPL trophies, but we'll just leave it at that. But look, again, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, again, there's only really 1 week to go.
Sorry, he just snuck up like unreal. I don't even know how quick is it?
I know. Again, I was thinking this morning. I was like, we finished the season, and again, I'm not trying to be biased, but Liverpool finished the last game of the season in the Champions League final, and then it just went like that. That we're back now, and again, I think this year it's going to be a little bit different, which I'm sure will be on another podcast probably next week when we get a couple of days before, but having the World Cup pretty quickly. But back onto the United situation with the centre backs, it's going to be interesting. Hopefully, Ten Hag's got an idea. And again, 1 week to go. I'm sure there'll be another big game before pre-season, or before pre-season ends.
Yeah.
And he'll be able to go week one.
We always play well week one. Like, we'll win 4-0 week one, 100%.
Who have you got, away or home?
I think it's at home.
Yeah, probably. Look, it will be 3 points, unfortunately. It always happens.
Last point on United. Just give me one word. Ronaldo, does he stay or go? One word. It's either a stay or go. Stay or go.
I reckon he's going to stay.
Yeah. And you know why, Kotzi? I love Ronaldo. I love him. He's on the back of this shirt. If no one has tried to sign you now and you've expressed that you want to leave, it probably means that you're not going to go play Champions League football anywhere else. Your best chance of playing Champions League football is probably going back home to Sporting. Do you want to do that? I don't think Ronaldo wants to, because I feel like, with all due respect, I feel like if he does move to Sporting, it marks that sort of, Cristiano Ronaldo's, we've seen the best of him. Man United, I'd stay there and just see how it goes.
Look, again, not a United fan, but again, Ronaldo's one of the best in the world. Two for health, over 20 years now. But yeah, look, not always happens, but it happens with bigger players when they're moving around or they don't want to be somewhere. And Ten Hag, you can see, has to play to the media. You can see, Ronaldo wants to stay. Hasn't played pre-season, and
that's a big concern.
It's an issue because you can see that Ten Hag's come in, started to clean out, and now this is an issue. And because it's Ronaldo, it's got
to be huge. It's
huge, right? Yeah. And again, no Champions League football is big, and that's what a lot of players now get attracted to. And again, you can see from Liverpool, they've attracted a few players in the last couple of years because we've gotten Champions League regularly, we're getting close to finals, and Man United aren't there yet. They got close last year and they lost to Atletico.
Yeah.
And then that's the thing. I'm sure he wants to be playing Wednesday, Saturday, not Thursday or Friday, Monday.
I hate Europa League.
But yeah, look, I don't know. I don't know how long the window's got left. So hopefully soon it gets sorted. But it doesn't look like he'll be playing next week. I don't think so.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Now, we'll leave on Man United. We'll go through the next couple of clubs a little bit quicker. Manchester City, obviously, Haaland is the big one. I think this move means that Haaland just changes Man City and makes them even better than what they are. I honestly think they might run away with the league. If Haaland starts firing off, I think they run away with the league.
Again, being up against them in the last, 3 years, 4 years for the title, every year they sign someone else and we go, at the start of the season, Man City's got it.
100%.
But what Haaland's done in the Bundesliga, again, different league, but when you're scoring goals, when you're born to score goals, you don't stop scoring goals. And you can see that in any level of football. He scored last week in pre-season, but I think he's just going to start on next week and just not stop. And they've been looking for a number 9. Again, had Jesus He's gone now. Aguero gone 2 years ago, but I think he's just going to be different for EPL defenders. They're just going to crap themselves when they're up against him. He's just a huge guy. But yeah, I can see him getting over 20 goals this season.
Now, there's someone that is getting compared to a lot, and it's from your club, Darwin Núñez. Now, Kotzi, before you start, and again, we'll try to keep everything a little bit shorter now. Darwin Núñez, I'm not too sure what Liverpool were doing with this one. I don't think it's a Klopp signing. Klopp doesn't really like these, flavour of the years and all that sort of stuff. Yes, he's been doing well at Benfica. How many are actually watching Benfica week in, week out? I'm not too sure. The Champions League, you can't take that away from him. Unbelievable. Great goal scoring record. Was huge for Benfica's progression in there. He was unreal. And it's showing that he can do it in the Champions League, shows that he can do it against top-tier opposition. The only worrying thing for me is that he's still young. The only worrying thing for me is that did they maybe react too quick? It came with a hefty price tag. I'll be honest, it's a signing that you'd think a United would make. And the only thing that concerns me a little bit is, have we seen enough of him? Unfortunately for him, Mane's gone, and he's got to get compared to Mane straight away. I know it's different positions, but I think through the middle, can Darwin Núñez give you those guaranteed goals that the Mane and Salah combination did have? Personally, for me, I think Núñez will flop this year. I'm not even getting on the preseason bandwagon, okay, even though some of the clips have been hilarious, that new one that came out from training. But I just think he's going to take a lot longer than maybe what's expected for him to settle into this Liverpool side.
Again, it's at this stage, it is worrying because as much as Firmino's great, I think he's now on the older side and probably not going to start every week.
Yeah.
But this signing, again, he came to Anfield and scored a couple of goals, and that happened with Minamino. Scored a couple of goals and we signed him. I just don't I don't have no words for it at this point. The price tag and it was just so quickly. And of course, yes, the memes and everything coming out on social media doesn't help his cause, and even a couple of days ago or last week, scored 4 goals.
Yeah.
Right. It's pre-season.
Martial's playing well, so it's pre-season.
But it's Portuguese coming into the Premier League. If he's gonna start every week, he's gonna have to again do a Haaland and just start scoring from the first week, because if he doesn't, he's gonna be sitting with Klopp, and then people are gonna ask, and then of course you can't compare him to Mane because different positions, but Mane is just was one of the best players that Klopp signed, one of my favourite players. But he's going to be a big loss. Unfortunately, I don't know what's going to happen with Núñez.
Look, hopefully, Darwin. Darwin's a great place in Australia local Darwin, but Darwin Núñez. Arsenal, they've signed Jesus, they've signed Zinchenko. Arsenal fans are very excited. They're very happy. I think Odegaard is a fantastic signing. I know we haven't touched on every Premier League club, but next week when we do a bit of our prediction, we'll touch a little bit more on it. But Arsenal, they're in a great position. Their rivals, Tottenham, they've also done crazy business as well. Now, Jesus and Zinchenko, I'll speed you on a little bit, Kotzi. I think great signings. I think Jesus, though, here's my little bold call. They wanted a number 9. They wanted a striker. I think Jesus is going to get shifted out wide. I think even though at Juventus, at Man City, he was, wanted to play that middle role, but they pull him on the right. I think he might actually find out, and I think Arteta might find out that maybe he's a little bit better out wide. Is that am I chatting just random stuff now?
I think you might be just chatting a little bit there.
That's the first podcast and the last podcast. Thanks so much.
Again, as you said, Arsenal, Tottenham been doing. A lot's been happening in London.
A lot of business.
But again, I think this year for Arsenal, I think Mikel's finally been given the money, been given the time, the players he's wanted, and again, I think him being at Manchester City is going to get, always going to be like, I can get some players across. Zinchenko, good player. I think him and Tierney will battle it out on the left, but he might be a backup, but then again, for experience. Jesus started scoring in pre-season. Again, that's good.
He's been on fire pre-season.
And again, at City, had a good scoring record too. So I think he's just going to continue that at Arsenal. I don't think he's going to play out wide. I don't think he's going to be more of the Band-Aid as he was at City. I think he's going to be the 9 because you got Saka on the wing and Martinelli. and then ML Smith Rowe behind. Look, again, another dangerous black horse. I think they're going to be not black horse, dark horse for the season to top 4. I don't think they're league contention yet. I think they're probably 3rd or 4th.
Don't give
but
Arsenal
I think Arsenal are going to be up there this season.
I think they'll be strong. And Arteta's done well. Hopefully that new documentary comes out soon. All or Nothing.
That's going to be interesting. I'm keen to watch that.
It's called All or Nothing. I'll spoil it for you. It was nothing. We're here all day, every single week. Like and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen.
Even come in store as well. I can get all the jokes in store as well.
Tottenham. Now, I'll go through this one quickly. Just Perisic on a free. They've signed Longley on a loan. I saw a meme that said that Everton have this transfer window every year and they get laughed at. But look, I think Tottenham will be strong. Jed Spence as well, big player coming from the Championship, obviously promoted. He was excellent last season. Some very, very good signings.
Basuma as well.
Basuma too. Heung-min Son. I think Kulusevski's now got a full pre-season with the club. He's going to be fantastic. Bentancur too, who was good when he came halfway through the year. Conte is building the team. R9 as well.
Richarlison, not Ronaldo.
Richarlison's a peanut. I don't like Richarlison.
We won't talk about him today.
But look, Tottenham fans, let me know in the comments down below what you think. Now, again, we didn't touch every single club, but we got the big ones out the way. I know we spoke about Tottenham as well, but we got the big ones out. Again, next week we'll go through our Premier League predictions. But before we do that, we've got to end the video and the podcast with a couple of little segments. Now, the first one, as you know, we are here at Ultra Football. We've got the new game set data pack, and it's an unbelievable colorway. Kotzi, you wear this on the pitch. I won't lie. I'll two-foot you because they're very flashy. But they say flashier boots make you run faster. I reckon even I'd be fast in these. And if you've seen me run, I'm not fast. So the new Predator boots, unbelievable colorway. I love a Predator. I've always worn Predators too. I'm a Nike man as well, but we won't
I'm a Nike man as well. Look, the colour's a bit bright. You probably need some sunglasses on the pitch.
Sorry, I meant Adidas man.
Look, I'm not much into the Predators. These look nice. I probably couldn't rock them myself, being a midfielder. But, they're a fantastic boot. And if you do want them, Ultra Football, you can probably link in the description down below as well. Or you can come into store here in the Melbourne one or the Sydney one too. You might even see Kotzi around and he might give you a hand if he's free. So the new Predator boot, unbelievable stuff there. Now, like I said, we've got to finish every single podcast on a fun little challenge, and we're going to keep tally at the end and compare. Okay. Now, Kotzi, you have got 30 seconds. I've got the little clock up there. 30 seconds to name, I know I told you as many Nike boots, but we're going to say as many boots as you can. So, for example, Adidas Predator, Nike Mercurial. Are you ready? We want you to participate at home as well. Drop it in the comments down below how many you got. You ready? So, it's 450 something. I'm nervous. You put me on the spot here.
Set, go.
Mercurial, CTR 360, Predator, Speedflow, Speed Portal, Nike Tempo.
20 seconds.
Oh my God.
He's frozen on the spot. This is the tension. It's the hot seat, ladies and gentlemen.
Copper Sense, Copper Mundial, Predator XL, no, ZL.
5 seconds. 5 seconds. Kotzi, you're the best. Time's up. Bang. Now, I won't lie. I hope you're all keeping count. We'll check the footage after, see how many Kotzi got. Solid performance there. But ladies and gentlemen, Kotzi, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me,
Kosta. Left-handed handshake. Unbelievable first podcast. Thank you to Ultra Football for the opportunity. The Ultra Sud podcast. It's the new hottest podcast in town. Tell your friend that there's a new podcast to watch. I've been Kosta. This is Kotzi or Jack, on whatever you want to call him. Thank you for watching. Again, like, subscribe, do that business. We'll catch you guys next week for another podcast.